The college football experience, Dantabase top 25, and Land Down Under college football news edition episode is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog's hooking up new customers, paying $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code. That is TCESGPN. So do that, and remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Nate Collins. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience, Dantabase top 25 and Land Down Under college football talk episode. I apologize for being late. We had the Big Ten preview, and I always forget there's 17 bajillion teams in the Big Ten. We had that college basketball preview. Go check out all of our college basketball preview. Season starts within the next week. We love college hoops here. We talk about every single game of the season. We've been doing it for years, but the same can be said for football. So I hate to deprive it because I love what we have right now, man. I counted 46 teams the other day that I think still eligible for the college football playoffs right now, and that is progress. Compared to a few years back. So excited to talk about that. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair too. My name is Colby Swinging Dantabase Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, tailless pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're gonna pay for it. Good night.
Oh boy. I think foolishly, we thought this offseason we'd just be able to rest a little bit as we go into college basketball heavier, like we do every year, right around January, late January. But I don't know with the way this coaching cycle's going. We're gonna have so many emergency episodes. It's gonna be wild. I am joined by my co-host, who is also the host of the college basketball experience. Give it up for farmer staffer at Austin P with the Governor of South Carolina with the Gamecocks and West Virginia with the Mountaineers. Ryan McIntyre, aka Money Line Mack. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Let's do it. Three-peat over here. Crossover season. Let's go.
Three-peat is referring to is we've been on the microphone for 7 hours.
Eastern.
Yeah, 7 hours and 12 minutes. All those episodes are out there if you're brave enough to listen to us for 7 hours. I'm honestly, I'm very thankful if you can do that, but I also would question your life. If you're listening to all 7 hours in one sitting, White, just call 1-800-PICK Dundee, and I'm just gonna, once you dial that number, if you hold down 696969, you will get my voice saying go get pussy. But yeah, brother, I mean, here we are. I love doing this episode. I feel a little bit different than the previous episodes that we've done this particular show on the Monday show, the Dantabase Top 25, because we are a little exhausted. So, I mean, let's pour, we got to pour a drink or something.
Oh, yeah.
I need the fucking energy to do this. Hang on. Let me finish this.
Cheers, man. Yeah, this is, they say it's an eight-hour work shift. Usually people aren't on the mic for 8 straight hours, but this is when you got to preview 34 goddamn SEC and Big Ten teams back to back.
Conferences that should never make any fucking sense, right? No,
Big
that's
Ten was
what
brutal.
happens, man. That's what happens. I want to shout out to anyone watching this right now too. I see that they're talking. Does your wife watch any of my shows? No, thankfully. She hates it. I'm fucking recording the whole time. She's trying to watch fucking some show with me or something. You know. She's like, okay, but very rarely, very very rarely. I'll say that if I'm on VSiN or something.
Well, just because that's only a 10-15 minute segment.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, even her, she can't take me in fucking hour increments. Whew, little burning in a kettle. I feel like doesn't normally burn. That might just be the terrible dieting over the past 8 hours. Ate some tacos. You know, in your 40s, you get fucking heartburn. You get heartburn like a motherfucker. You know who else has got heartburn? The good people of Baton Rouge, right?
His family.
Let's just get right into it because wait, I think I even have that drop right here.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I know people in Baton Rouge. Brian Kelly. Well, I'm sorry, that's not the clip. I guess it fits. That fits for the LSU fan base. That's what they think of Brian Kelly. What did I have this thing titled again? Oh, here we go.
Thank you. Well, this is a great way to get started. And I haven't even won all my games yet. It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family, and we are so excited to be in the great state of Louisiana, but more importantly,
that part's got a nice ring to it too, because it sounds like some over-the-top Southern politician. It never worked out. It never got Brian Kelly was fired LSU with the ridiculous buyout. And what's crazy about this is I kind of saw the writing on the wall here. Some people questioned me. I remember in the preseason, people thought no way Kelly gets fired this year, and I argued with them. So I was proven right here. I mean, yes, he was 34-14 at LSU. He was 5-3 right now. The only crazy thing I say about this is they still could have made the playoffs. Like they had a bye week. Alabama is vulnerable still to me if you didn't watch the game in Columbia. So they could come out of that bye week, win in Bryant-Denny. I mean, he beat Saban. He can beat DeBoer, right? Then they have a home game against Arkansas, a home game against Western Kentucky, and they play at Oklahoma, a team that looked very kind of foo-foo the other day. So that would be the only pushback I would say, but I never thought the fit really worked. But I just think maybe you wait one more game to make sure you're definitely not in the playoffs. But your thoughts on Brian Kelly being fired from LSU?
My thoughts are maybe they didn't want to have him magically get to the playoffs, so just pull the plug.
Punting on a whole season, because if you get in the playoffs, anybody could win.
I agree. I mean, their season comes down to the Alabama game. If they can somehow win at Alabama, they could somehow make the playoffs.
I almost think at that point I would take them to maybe. You know what I mean? Like Oklahoma's not that good.
No, and who knows if Venables will make it past that? But you hit the nail right on the head. The fit never made sense, especially like we joke about the fake accent, but that kind of just summed it up in a nutshell.
Remember the video where he's like doing the gun gesture too?
Yeah, it was fucking weird. He's a Northeast guy.
He's trying to be cool, and he's never been cool in his life.
No, he hasn't been cool at all. He's had good runs at Grand Valley State, Central Michigan, Cincinnati, and even Notre Dame. He is a good football coach. Hell, he was 34-14 at LSU. It wasn't like he was 500 and losing games. That's just not the standard there. And he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way down there too. So like he was never going to get the benefit.
You're faking like you're one of them from the start.
Yeah, everybody just saw how phony he was, and I mean, I think he'll get a job again right away. He'll be coaching. Like if he went to Wisconsin, I think he'd be great at Wisconsin.
I mean, that's yeah, I think it'd be great. I mean, at a bunch of other places, but I mean, I don't know about great. He'd be good. He'd be good,
solid. Yeah,
I think he does struggle for greatness at such a point, but it's just such an interesting thing for him to fake the accent. He didn't he struck me as a potential guy that could be an asshole. Back at when he quit on his Cincinnati team that was undefeated
Yeah.
before the Fiesta Bowl or Sugar Bowl or Orange Bowl, whatever the fuck it was. I thought that was a cheap blow because I think he could have told Notre Dame, "Let me coach one more game because we're playing for a perfect season."
He set him out.
Yeah, he said, "Yeah, okay, have fun, guys." Oh, great. Glad to see you demand commitment from all your players, but just when it comes to you say, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." No, I'm sorry. But he just doesn't seem cool ever. Like even someone posted a photo of him at like Central Michigan, and I was like, he's kind of unhuman. You know what I mean? Like.
He's weird.
He just doesn't look like a guy that ever do a shot with you and laugh. You can just say, "Hey," like I feel like a lot of coaches, even like Parcells or some shit you look at, or some, just historic coaches, I feel like you could still see a human side to them where you can, with Brian Kelly, it seems like a fucking I don't know. It just seems like a dickhead to me. Like yelling at his coaches, his players. Someone shared the clip today. I think it was one of our like college football liaison or something. They shared a clip of him yelling, like pushing the shit out of his like special teams coach during a Temple game or a defense coordinator. I forget what it was, but I just thought, man, and I got tagged in it, and then like the way he came at the coach, I was like, dude, the other coach had the right to like punch him in the face because it was like, dude, what are you doing? Just pushing another adult to that magnitude when he wasn't expecting it. But at the same time, he is a good football coach. I do think like, here's what's crazy about this day and age is like, that you can't tell me they have a plan to win more with the next coach. Cause I mean, you fired Orgeron, who like what, 2 years removed from a perfect season.
Yep.
I think, and a buddy of mine who was an LSU fan texted me this morning, and he said all these college football schools are insane. Though first off, he was not justifying. He didn't like Brian Kelly at LSU from the start, but he was saying these football schools need to recalibrate the way they think about the football season. He's like, they only have 3 losses. 9-3 can get you into the playoffs, first off, but also your days of being 11-1 or 12-0 are going to be so fucking rare. Unless you're in a gigantic conference, which I mean, I guess they somewhat are, where you can avoid all these teams, but it's going to be rare. It's going to be rare. And I think he had a point. I think he had a point of like saying like, man, this is a different day and age in college football. And I don't even know that this job is as good as it was because the demand to win is so unrealistic in this new day and age of college sports. I don't know that it makes it one that is as attractive as it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago. You see my point?
Yeah. Because high school recruiting I'm not going to say high school recruiting still does matter, but in an era now where everybody just transfers because you got yelled at the wrong way or you just go chase the bag, it doesn't really matter as much. Everybody's portaling it up. And so, yeah, LSU probably not as attractive as it used to be. And the other teams in the SEC have resources. Vanderbilt that we keep talking about.
Everybody has resources.
Yeah.
Like you're starting to see it. I mean, I know the SEC does, but I still think like a lot. The game is just, the sport has changed radically in 5 years. Radically. Like the sport goes back to 1869, and I don't know that you can even pinpoint a time with this much change in a 5-year stretch. Maybe the early days of football in the 1800s, maybe. So it's hard to really fathom and understand. And I think there's validity into the point of like these schools, whether it's Florida, whether it's Penn State, whether it's LSU. I don't know that this ideology fits with this current time. And I mean, this is going to be insane, dude. We're going to have so many emergency episodes. I'm almost at the point where I'm not looking forward to it. As someone, I love college football. I love the strategy behind this, but I'm like, I put up this graphic, Mac, of the current jobs that are open, right?
And it's not even Halloween yet.
Up on the top, up on the top is the jobs that are open, right? So we got Colorado State, LSU, Oklahoma State, Florida, Virginia Tech, Stanford, Arkansas, Kent State, UAB, Oregon State, Penn State, UCLA, and I didn't even fact check if there's another one that I'm missing. I might have missed one. I think that's all of them. And there's a chance. I would almost bet if you look at the bottom, I put jobs that could open: Florida State, Auburn, Wisconsin, USC, NC State, Colorado, Michigan State. I could have put Iowa in there too, or any of those old time coaches. I mean, I'm not saying all those are firings. The Dion one I think could be his health. Dave Doran I think could also retire. My point is that this is insane. We're gonna see if you right now, Florida, LSU, Penn State. Those three specifically are fucking gigantic.
Huge jobs. Those are
right?
top 10 all-time programs or top 15 all-time programs.
And I think the other ones, have had their moments in the sun. Virginia Tech's played for a natty. Arkansas was a power all up until the 90s, right? Oklahoma State, I think, has way more ambition since Mike Gundy ignited all that. They could be. UCLA is in a talent-rich area. I know it's been since it's honestly been like since Terry Donahue or Dick Vermeil since they were fucking nasty, but still there's been proof of that before. But then you look at the other shit. Florida State, there's a high likelihood that opens. Auburn, high likelihood that opens. Wisconsin, high likelihood that opens. USC, I don't know where you're at on that, but that is the next one. The Brian Kelly one, I think if you asked people 2-3 weeks ago, they would have not assumed that Brian Kelly would be fired by today. They would assume they'll give him to the end of the year. They'll give him next year. USC is one to watch because they have a huge game this Saturday. If they lose that game, I think it's going to start potentially that conversation.
Shit, you didn't even put Oklahoma on this list.
Yeah, Oklahoma's another one. I mean, there's a bunch. That's what I'm saying. I started doing this and I was like, there's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, Whittingham could retire at Utah too. Whittingham and Ferentz, I feel like, are just right there. And then, so the amount of episodes we're going to do, not only because they can take, these schools are gigantic jobs with tons of money, but also the ramifications of grabbing other coaches from sitting current Power 5 jobs, and then they need to grab somebody. So a lot of potential for just complete chaos here. But going back to Brian Kelly, I'll just ask you this. Who do you think he ends up at? Just for content's sake. I know it's very hard to judge that now. He's going to be paid $800,000 a month for the next 10 years of his life. What a fucking job. What was I doing when I considered
how about that AD?
What an idiot I am. But
how about that AD giving the Jimbo Fisher the buyout and now Brian Kelly? Oh my God.
Yeah.
He should be fired.
Yeah. I mean,
idiot.
Yeah, no, but he's successfully at doing that, right?
Yeah.
He's successful at fucking it up, but I don't think they have a president right now. I think that's part of the problem, right? Is they don't have a sitting president. Gun to your head, just for content's sake. Brian Kelly is coaching. Is he coaching next year?
I think he takes a year off.
I think
he's never been
next year.
Huh?
I think he's coaching next year because I think he knows that he's at an age where if you're going to pursue this, and I think he also has never been fired. So I think there's a competitive drive within most of these coaches to want to prove them wrong. I think he's coaching next year. Now, to where is he coaching? I have, to me, I will guess NC State. That's my guess. Dave Doran retires. Brian Kelly's at NC State. I think it'd be a great hire. And actually, I would not like that move. But I think it would be a great hire for NC State.
Would Virginia Tech hire Brian Kelly?
They should. I don't understand why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
If I'm UCLA, I would get on the phone tomorrow, tonight, today, right now. That one makes a lot of sense. Honestly, like a lot of these schools make a lot of sense. I know he's got ties to the Northeast and the Midwest. He was at Grand Valley State. I know Noah Beanick was saying Michigan State. What does LSU do? And because this is the dilemma, and this is what my buddy was texting me this morning. He was like, Penn State's never going to find a coach right now in the open market that's better than Franklin. Can LSU find one that's better than Kelly? And my only defense to this was I was like, well, I think most people would say Brian Kelly's a better head coach than Ed Orgeron.
Yeah.
And Ed Orgeron won a natty there. So to me, maybe I think Brian Kelly and Ed Orgeron, if you give him at most programs, I would take Brian Kelly to beat Ed Orgeron, but not at LSU, clearly. So what does LSU do? Jon Sumrall?
I think it's I kind of think it's going to be Summerall. I don't think Lane's going to take it. I don't think Lane's going to take LSU or Florida. I think he's going to stay at Ole Miss.
Well, I think he's going to be in the playoffs. I think that win.
Yeah.
So you're not going to want to wait that long. It makes it fucking fascinating.
Well, is Summerall going to be in the playoffs?
I still think there's more work there. I think Ole Miss is pretty. I know they could still fuck this up, but I feel like it's last week's win was so fucking huge. I feel like they're close. They're close. Summerall though is close too, though. But I just feel like between the Army and ECU game, I think they're much more likely to have another loss. Ole Miss got to lose twice. They can have one loss.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin would be the guy. That'd be my first call, but I don't think he's going to take it. And I think it's going to end up being Summerall. He's already in the state. He's already won at multiple stops there down there in the South. They didn't like Brian Kelly because he wasn't one of their own. Summerall is not going to be a phony and fake a Southern accent, and he's already won down there. And he played at Kentucky.
My problem with this is, and look, there's new coaches that break through all the time where you don't know. But Tulane is so much better funded than almost every school in the AAC, minus Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're the second most funded program in the AAC. I just don't know that at LSU you could have that much success. I think it's a crazy job because the fan base is used to this craziness over the past 20 years.
Of a natty.
Yeah, so it's like, in a way, I think as a coach, now they're going to pay you millions, so it's not that crazy. I would love to take what Ed Orgeron say. You're going to pay me $22 million to quit? What door do you want me to leave? Right? Or to fire me?
They should hire James Franklin so they can go 9-3 again.
Well, that's honestly, that would be their best. I don't know. I mean, it's a very interesting time in the sport based on all this shit. So, and the fact that I can't ever recall a time in my life where you could have, and you're right, with Venables at Oklahoma still in the mix, they don't have an athletic director. He's like retiring currently. But you already have I have never seen this many this early. And then the high probability, like I almost think Florida State, Auburn, Wisconsin are like guarantees. USC, I think, is on the fence. Some of these other schools, like you said, Oklahoma could be on the fence. It just makes for an insane couple of weeks that we have in front of us. The amount of emergency episodes we're gonna have to do is, I didn't even do one for Brian Kelly because I'm still tired from the last fucking emergency episodes we did.
Do you think a guy like Drinkowitz will try and jump from Missouri?
I do.
Yeah, he's already won in the SEC.
Now, it matters about the ambition though, and Drinkowitz is kind of I don't know. I'm curious because we know LSU's a better job than Missouri based on the old days, and probably still today. But I still wonder though if the expectation is it worth the risk. At Missouri, they could build you a statue if you do 5 more years of this. You know what I mean? In 20 years, they'll build you a statue at this era. Looking back at this era. Whereas LSU, it's like you're going to go 9-3 and people are going to hate you for it.
Hilarious.
You know what I mean? So it's just an insane time. All right, let's get to the
college football fans.
Yeah, insane time. Well, the sport's just changed so much. I don't think the fan or the schools or the alumni or the boosters have calibrated their brains to think the way they should be thinking. which makes it chaotic. So, all right, folks, want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by us. Yes, we are part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and the NFL, NBA, MLB, college football, NHL, CFL are all live with, we got our podcast that we're giving out. The sports are all live and thriving right now. Giving out free picks and everything else. So subscribe to the SGPN feed to catch every single episode wherever you get your podcast. Just type in SGPN and let it ride. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football, and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. You can easily deposit and get lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head on over to MyBookie.ag, and when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by NoVig. NoVig is America's #1 sports prediction market. And with NoVig, you know you are getting the best prices. NoVig's available in 35 plus different states. Download the NoVig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. So get in on the action with NoVig, promo code SGPN. All right. Shout out to the great Carlton in the chat. What a great time to be a college sports fan. Football tomorrow all week, then college basketball begins. Amen. Amen. Texas Tech right now, the best job in America. That's another one that could open, Mac. Brian Kelly to Stanford, some saying. Think about this, man. Texas Tech, we know the backup quarterback is out for the season now, and Baron Morton's been out for his life. I know he's starting this week, but trust me, he'll be out. It's a safe bet. What does he say? What does he say in Naked Gun, the OG, not that bullshit remake? Had a great line about he's like, still better than any state ran lotto or some shit like I don't know. So he has some great line about. Texas Tech's one that I still wonder that if McGuire doesn't get to the Big 12 championship, they could pull the plug on him. And that
crazy enough to do it, yeah.
And they got fuck you money too. So
Lincoln Riley.
Let's get to this. Actually, before the Dantabase one, see, I'm done too many shows. We have Tuesday Night Football in the Conference USA. So before the Dantabase Top 25, we do have 2 games currently being played tonight that I love. I love Tuesday night college football, and I think the CUSA race is fascinating. Kennesaw State is in first place at 5-2, Mac. One of the best stories in college football. It'd be great if any of these college football shows would actually cover that. Besides us, I'm saying, the national, like when you turn on TV, it'd be nice if they covered Jerry Mack and what he's doing. They're laying 10.5. This has gone up. This was 9.5 this morning. 10.5 currently for Kennesaw State as UTEP comes into Kennesaw, Georgia. Over under at 50.5. Man, I hate going to that key number.
That is a lot to play with Kennesaw.
I'm laying it with Kennesaw too. First off, it's just a weird. These teams have no real history besides last year. It's a weird road game. Walden's never faced Jerry Mack. Kennesaw just seems to be legit. So I am laying it with the Kennesaw State Owls. You are laying it with the Kennesaw State Owls. Laying that 10.5 there currently. Total at 50.5. Last season it was 43-35. UTEP gets the win. That's another thing. Revenge for a lot of those Kennesaw State players. I think the under is the play, actually, the more I think about it. I don't think UTEP's offense is that good. So I think the under 50.5 is what I'm going to go with as well. But I don't have that strong a conviction with the total. I like the side much better than the total. How about you?
I'll lay it with Kennesaw here. Looking at the standings, UTEP 1-2. They are coming off a bye week, but I just think Kennesaw's really formed an identity running the football here. And Jerry Mack and company, they got a chance here to punch a spot in the bowl to a bowl game already with 6 wins. So yeah, give me the Owls. I'll lay it. It is crazy that we got the Owls laying 10.5 already now.
Jerry Mack should be in the contention for Coach of the Year. Shout out to Candace Capper, who was he went to a Kennesaw game. What was the story behind that, Cannabis?
Yeah.
And shout out to you going out there. Everyone should be supporting college football, college basketball, going to these games. Don't ever forget that. That's part of the best experience. It's going out to these games. So we only have one CUSA game on Tuesday, which is weird because I feel like we should have a second one. And I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, I had 46 teams eligible, playoff hopes intact currently. You can make a case it's 47 because Kennesaw actually you could make a case for. I did not put Kennesaw on that list. But if they went 10-2 with a 1-point loss to Wake Forest on a missed extra point and the other loss being Indiana, I mean, shit, Wake Forest can still play for the ACC championship. So there theoretically, I guess you could even go more than 46 if you want to paint a crazy scenario. I don't think a CUSA team's got a real shot at that. But I guess if everybody beats themselves up and Kennesaw goes 10-2 with those two quality losses, it would at least be a conversation, right?
Except it wouldn't because it's Kennesaw, and we know the national media just won't. They don't even know Kennesaw's 5-2 right now.
Yeah, they don't even talk about it. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're both on Kennesaw. So the other game that I was alluding to, that this one did make my list of 46 teams because I have one of them on it, and that is the JMU Dukes. This game, JMU is heading to San Marcos, Texas for the final time. Remember, Texas State going to the Pac-12 next year. This is a fascinating game. So JMU is 6-1 with their one loss being to Louisville, who's very much alive to play in the college football playoffs and in the ACC championship. JMU is laying 6.5, Mac. Texas State's been one of the stranger teams this year.
Yeah.
As they are on a 3-game losing streak. But they've only lost one game at home, and that was to a team that is currently undefeated in conference in overtime. I'm all over Texas State here. I think they're live. I think Stormwatch in San Marcos should be mentioned here because I know JMU is not ranked. They should be, by the way, in my opinion. Once again, back to your conversation about no one knowing anything. JMU has looked awesome this year. And even that one game, if you watch the Louisville game, most people that I think watched this game came away more impressed with JMU than it was Louisville, and really felt like JMU squandered a lot of opportunities. JMU has destroyed everybody. I mean, they just dropped 63 on Old Dominion.
Yeah.
More than Indiana did. But I think it's about the spot here. Give me Texas State money line. The stadium will be packed. Bobcat Stadium there in San Marcos. Don't they got a river or some shit they go tubing down or some shit? I can't wait for this game. This is an awesome game for a Tuesday night. Texas State's way better than their 3-4 record. What are you doing here?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Love Texas State here in this home spot. Lost 3 straight games as a favorite. Now they're a home dog. They're going to get this offense fixed here. I think this is a tight game that comes right down the wire. I think Texas State is live on the money line as well. So yeah, we'll go. We'll be aligned here on a Tuesday night. Go Bobcats!
And it's that strange road trip too.
A long trip.
Yeah, it's that strange road trip. Probably your furthest destination, I think, in the Sun Belt. So double lock on these Bobcats. The total is 55.5. I'll go over on this. I'll go over on this one. Can't wait to watch this game. What a great fucking Tuesday night game we got. For the Wednesday night games, we will answer tomorrow when we preview all of our other weekday games. There's a slew of weekday games. But those are our weekday games. Now, let's jump into the Dantabase top 25. Shout out youtube.com/the college experience. The fine artwork from the people on the internet, I guess. AI.
Patty's phone number never gets old.
All right, at number 25. This was kind of a rather easy week, I thought, to do the Dantabase top 25. I have the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, and when you look at this, man, I think you have to really pay attention to detail here, where as much as I said Kennesaw State missed an extra point, that would have just sent the game to overtime. Doesn't mean that Kennesaw was going to win it, but that win's looking better. They did miss the extra point. Wake Forest also got completely robbed against Georgia Tech, and everyone knows this one. They would have ran out the clock against Georgia Tech. They quickly called hike while Georgia Tech's defensive end was offsides and threw the ball deep, knowing it was offsides, and the refs missed it on a pivotal 4th down and 3. I mean, I feel like they did. Even at that, their 2 losses are to NC State and Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is currently in my top 10. NC State, obviously not a great team, but not a team with a losing record. I think Wake Forest deserves to be number 25. You think they should be ranked, Mac?
Potentially. I want to see who's around them on your list. I never thought we'd have Wake here at this time of year.
I did not either.
Going into the year.
Shout out to Jake Dickert, man.
Yeah, this is a great story.
Then at 24, I have the Oklahoma Sooners. The logic here was this: 2 lost teams. You're looking for 2 lost teams. So like, I battled them against a bunch of other resumes. I'll be honest. I thought about putting Wake above Oklahoma, and I think you can make the point that they should be. But I think the difference here is that Oklahoma's losses, there's nothing as bad as NC State. Ole Miss is currently in the top 10 for me, or I think the top 15 for sure. And it was a 1-score loss. Texas, as much as I think Texas is counterfeit, they are 6-2. It looks a little different against 4-4 NC State. So that was the logic that really knocked Oklahoma over. Also, the wins against against Michigan. Michigan 6-2. And don't forget, Temple also has a winning record as well. That was the logic on putting them above. But I also compared them against Tennessee. I thought Oklahoma's got a better resume than Tennessee. So, all right, Sooners at 24. At 23, I took the USC Trojans. They have a win against Michigan as well. Battling USC and Oklahoma is an interesting one because USC didn't play an FCS, which I reward them for. Also, their losses are intriguing as well because they lost at Illinois by 2. Illinois is currently a team with a winning record. And then Notre Dame by 10. Notre Dame's 5-2. So both those losses, even though they're 2 losses, are pretty decent. Another thing is they beat Michigan. That's really like the best thing on their resume, if I'm being honest. It's that Michigan win. But I also thought the losses were better. So USC at 23. They also beat Michigan more convincingly. At 22, TCU. TCU is a team that's kind of flying under the radar. I know that we covered with them on West Virginia, that West Virginia play when we were shit hammered. But what do you think of this TCU team? They're currently 6-2.
I know.
And the resume is interesting because like they have a win. I mean, I guess the Baylor win got worse, but and I guess the SMU win got worse too. But they're still teams that are 500 or above. They're a weird team. It's hard to judge them because part of me thinks they're flying under the radar in the Big 12, but part of me is like they haven't looked as good as I thought they would.
They are an interesting team to your point. Hoover's good. That offense is good. They don't really have the big marquee win yet, but they're 6-2. I mean, they have found ways to take care of business, and their one loss at, I think, who did they lose to? They lost at
Arizona
K-State.
K-State's the only game they got beat down in.
Yeah,
They lost twice.
And they blew
17-3 in the 4th.
Yeah, they blew the 17-0 lead. So yeah, there's so many goddamn 2-loss teams in the country right now.
Yeah, it's hard to grade them against it. You're looking to me for quality road wins and wins against teams that are 500 or above. JMU at 21. I just touched on this. Their resume is pretty damn impressive, and the way they beat Old Dominion, super fucking impressive. And the way they played against Louisville, I thought very close game. So JMU at 21. At number 20, I have Utah. I think Utah still has a very impressive road schedule, and obviously what they just did to Colorado with their backup quarterback needs to be talked about a little bit more. The Utes, and then another thing is you look at the Utes' 2 losses. I have them against 2 top 15 teams in Texas Tech and BYU. So no shame there with the Utes currently coming in at 20. At number 19, I have the Irish, and the Irish I think are my highest rated 2-loss team. Utah being second, and you can kind of debate that because Utah's gone on the road. I think been more successful on the road. But Notre Dame, the teams that beat them and the way they lost to both those teams, very close games, I think made it tricky. But I gave Notre Dame that edge at number 19. At number 18, I have the Cincinnati Bearcats. They're 7-1.
They keep winning.
It's just that Nebraska 3-point loss. That was basically a road game. But look, they keep winning. And that's the reason why we have them in the top 25, and they're currently in first place.
Yeah.
In the Big 12. So Cincinnati at 18. At 17, I got the Louisville Cardinals. That win against JMU looks better and better, and the win against Miami. And I have a debatable thing here, is because Miami, I do have ranked ahead of Louisville here, and they have the same record, and the head-to-head. I think I normally like to pay attention to that, and that is the big difference. But I think Miami's played better competition as of right now. As Louisville continues to play games, as long as their record stays the same with Miami, I think they'll work their way past them, if that makes sense. So I have the Cards at 17. I know that's and Miami never even had the lead against Louisville, so I know that looks bad from my point of view. But I thought the resume right now, Miami's resume is a little bit more meat on the bone, but that will change. That will change because Miami's resume continues to get shittier. Louisville's ramps up a little bit. At number 16, I have Tulane, the Green Wave. We touched on Jon Sumrall's bunch. They have not looked the greatest the past couple weeks, but hey, they still win, and that matters in this conference, right? Or in college football. So Tulane at number 16. At number 15, I have the Navy Midshipmen, undefeated. And remember, UAB beat Memphis. Memphis took down South Florida. I mean, all that shit helps strengthens the schedule of Navy. They're my lowest ranked undefeated team. Do you agree? Navy's not even in the AP top 25. It's a fucking joke.
I don't get it. I don't get it. They just keep shitting on Navy every week. They're fucking 7-0. They should be at least ranked.
Yeah. I mean, it really is a slap in the face of fucking college football. But do you agree with Navy being ranked ahead of Tulane, even though Tulane has the loss at Ole Miss? It was a bad loss, and they got blown out. But it's debatable because Navy's been perfect, but they didn't play a non-con like Tulane, so it's very tricky.
Tulane's got the better resume. They have two Power 5 home wins in the non-con.
That's fair. They do have a better resume, but they also have a loss, and that's what makes it kind of dicey. Is like I think you're right, though. I think you're
also Ole Miss. 95% of the country would lose that game.
You're right. Shout out to Sammy. Is Tulane the Group of 5 front runner right now? You got to think them or JMU, right? Them then JMU, I would say. Shout out to Nick. Nick, I met up with Nick in Nick's the fucking man, dude. Yes, Columbia, South Carolina. Shout out to Columbia, South Carolina. Nick's good people, man. Folks, check him out. Does a lot of the stuff for San Jose State. So make sure you check him out on Twitter there. Nick Urias. I forgot. I know you told me how to pronounce that. And I feel like I'm butchering it. My apologies. Navy at 15, though. And shout out to Nick. At number 14, I got the Wahoos, man.
So lucky.
They got to be the luckiest team in the nation.
It's starting to piss me off.
From the Florida State bobble
Yeah.
to last week to the Washington State safety. I mean, they wouldn't even. Washington State would have taken them to at least overtime.
Louisville game.
Oh my God, man. Wahoo's at number 14. At number 13, I got them Dogs, Georgia. They didn't play last week. They're on bye, but their resume actually, it took some hits, but also got better as well. With Alabama winning and stuff like that. So Dogs at 13. Number 12, I got them Houston Cougars and Willie Fritz. They passed Georgia because they played. Georgia was on bye. Houston got a huge win on the road. Sun Devil Stadium, tough place to play. Team with a winning record. What do you think of these Cougs, man? They're a great story too. They're not being talked about enough.
Nobody's talking about them. Willie Fritz, year 2, man. Taking a huge step. They're right there in contention.
That's great. He's got a stud quarterback coming next year too. At number 11, I got those Canes, and like I said, I think that's the biggest debatable thing is Louisville going head to head and never trailing at Miami. Mac, here's the hard part. How do you analyze this? Because my logic is give it another week or two and Louisville will pass them if they continue to both win. But when I look at the resume based on right now, it's like, man, Miami's got to win against 5-2 Notre Dame. Miami's got to win against 6-2 South Florida. Miami's got to win against them. Miami's got, I know the Florida's still not necessarily. I think they're 3-4. I think so. They're not. Florida State, I think, is similar, 3-3 or 3-4. So they're both right there, but they're not terrible. They don't have like the terrible. When you look at Louisville's rankings, and then you could also argue then why wouldn't Virginia be ranked ahead of Louisville, right? So it's tricky doing this exercise, but when I look at Louisville's resume, JMU is probably, other than Miami, it's probably their best win. That or Pitt. Pitt probably is their best win. I don't know, Pitt or JMU, depending on how you would rank them. I have JMU ahead of Pitt. But, there's like Bowling Green and Boston College and Eastern Kentucky. So I thought Miami's resume was a tiny bit better. Maybe next week that changes. What do you do with Miami, Louisville, and Virginia all having the same record and they all have wins against each other?
Virginia hasn't lost to either of them yet. So,
but Virginia has a loss to the worst team.
I know. It's hard. It's hard to ignore. To your point, it's hard to ignore the non-con where Miami was super dominant, but then they also got dominated by Louisville. So I probably would put Miami the highest just because I'll reward the non-con. And then you would go to the head-to-head with Louisville and Virginia. So I think you got it right. But this is where it's hard. You need more data points here.
Well, and Louisville also has like Virginia's barely gotten by in some of these games. Louisville's been in command, I would say, everything except that Virginia game. So, Anyway, that's that. Let's get to the top 10. But before we do that, I want to let you know that the college football experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Look, everyone knows Underdog is your home for pick'em entries where you can win up to 5,000 times the amount of money you enter. But now in select states, Underdog has team picks. Yes, that's right. Sides, totals. They're finally here. Great option for anyone looking to get in on the action. Hop on over to Underdog Fantasy, and when you do, use our promo code because get this brand new offer. If you for new customers, play $5, get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is crushing it in college football and NFL. They just added NBA. We know college hoops right around the corner as well. Rhythm is also giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model that you build, and you could win $1,000. Use that promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. That's RITHMM. Download Rhythm and use that promo code SGPN25. All right. Top 10. Let's get through this. The Ducks, quack quack at number 10. And honestly, man, this is another one where I thought, am I giving them too much love? Because the resume is not incredible. I think you could argue Miami and Louisville have a better resume than Oregon. The difference is Oregon has a better loss, but the wins,
Non-existent. They beat Northwestern. That's it.
that's their only win with a pulse right now.
Yeah.
It's tricky because I almost think I should probably move Oregon back.
I'd move them back. They haven't done anything.
Yeah. I think in hindsight, I think the more it's tricky though because they would be undefeated. It's like if Miami played Indiana, I think we would all take Indiana. If Louisville played Indiana, we think we would all take Indiana. So it's like they'd be undefeated then. If not, I don't know. It's a tricky. It gets a little tricky with your data points there. At number 9, I have Texas Tech, who've done it with multiple quarterbacks. Now 3 quarterbacks have played substantial amounts of time. And they've looked really
year
good.
in Lubbock.
And their one loss was on the road in a game they had the lead with a minute left, So I do think valuable win there because some of their teams that they beat too have also they beat Houston and Utah, which continually look good. And I mean, we'll see with their injury situation, but at number 8, I got the Ole Miss Rebels. Huge fucking win. They still have the loss at Georgia, but that was a close game for a lot of the way. And the resume kind of speaks for itself. The win over Tulane looks good. The win over Oklahoma looks good. And then LSU and still has a winning record, so that's a nice win too. So resume not terrible for the Rebels. At number 7, I have Vanderbilt Commodores. It stays the same there. As much as they won against Missouri, I couldn't find a way to put them above Alabama, which is number 6, because Alabama has the head-to-head. So that was the logic there. Nothing really changed there. Nothing changed here. At number 5, BYU stays at number 5. But where the shakeup is right here, where Georgia Tech moves from I think it was 3 to 4, despite looking good and winning and covering. Syracuse does not have a lot of meat on the bone, and it makes their resume a little weaker. Then I have Ohio State at 3. They obviously same situation in a way where they didn't play, and then the resume some got better, some got worse. But to me, the big thing is what happened with the resume here at A&M. Texas A&M, to me, going to LSU and getting a road win of that caliber, which I think is better than anything Ohio State has done on the road or in general. And then you mix that with the Notre Dame win as Notre Dame continues to look good. Also, some of the other wins they have. Remember, A&M has yet to play an FCS, where Ohio State played Grambling. So, yeah, A&M at 2, and then no shakeup at 1. The real shakeup is A&M coming in at 2. I had a hard time. You can make a case that A&M should be number 1. I think it's razor thin, but I think those should be the top 2 teams ranked in the country. I compared the both of them, and you can make compelling arguments on both sides here.
Yeah,
I think the road schedule with A&M's been so Indiana's been more impressive by score, but the road schedule at Death Valley and at Notre Dame, is I think tougher than at Oregon and at Iowa, but not by much.
Yeah,
I think it's close, man.
It is close. It is close, and then you factor in also that Indiana just destroys teams. Yeah, I keep Indiana 1. Kinnick is still an undervalued win on the national stage, and Eugene is a tough place to play. So, but I mean, shit. So is South Bend, and so is fucking Death Valley. So,
and A&M actually has a 3rd road win at Arkansas, but it was a short win. You know what I mean? Like, it's tricky comparing the resumes.
They're close.
Yeah, it's razor close. But that is the Dantabase top 25 right there. Not a ton of shakeup in the top 5, but elsewhere. Anything else? I mean, we kind of hit on everything, right?
Yeah, I think another big week upcoming. These games are getting bigger and bigger, and these teams with 2 losses feels like we keep adding teams to it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's get to the land on under, the segment that everybody wants, where we talk foolishly about bullshit just to try to get clicks. And unfortunately, we're extremely tired right now. So, but I planned this, a long time ago. So, as in earlier today, last night. So, it is land on under time, folks. This is the land down under. Yeah, we talk bullshit. Yeah. Stupid arguments that mean nothing about sports. Yeah. We talk bullshit. Yeah. Land down under. Land down under. We talk bullshit better than you. All right. Land down under, buddy. Welcome to the land down under. USC will be a playoff team this season, Mac. Yes or no?
No, not tough enough.
Missouri will be a playoff team this season, Mac. Yes or no?
No.
Michigan will be a playoff team this season, Mac. Yes or no?
No. I went over 3 on these.
All right.
Because
I understand it's late in the night and you don't want to do the show anymore.
No.
I'm fucking around.
I just like the problem with Michigan is Oklahoma going to have 3 losses and USC going to have 3 losses? How do they win a tiebreaker over either of those teams?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Maybe I Benedict. No, I don't think USC is going to. USC is going to find a way.
Rumors on the internets.
All right. Welcome to the land down under, where we don't give you a fucking. Well, he did give you answers. Maybe not the ones you wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Let's go to the land down under. Moneyline Mac, LSU had 8 losing seasons from 89 to 99. Then Nick Saban happened. In this era where everyone can pay for play, should LSU be worried that they could be resorting back to this? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
See, simple question there. That's a good one, right? I think people forget that. When I first got into college football, LSU was a doormat. They were fucking trash. They were trash in the 90s. All right, next up in the land down under. Which coaching hire makes the most sense of these? If UCLA hires Brian Kelly, if Jim Mora goes to Oregon State, if James Franklin goes to Virginia Tech, and if Rhett Lashley goes to Arkansas, and rank all 4.
Franklin to Tech is one for me. Then Lashley to Arkansas because he played there. Then I'll go Jim Moore at Oregon State. I can see if Brian Kelly goes to fucking UCLA, is he gonna fake a West Coast accent?
Oh man, Ben Stevens had a great tweet on that with the fucking surfer guy. If you haven't seen that shit, shout out to Ben Stevens.
He just becomes a flamer out there in LA. Brian
that
Kelly.
Shit was I mean, imagine if that would be great. That would be fucking great. He's referring to the surfer side, but there's that would be even funnier too. All right. Next up in the land down under. Mac, will these teams make a bowl game? NC State is currently 4-4. There are rumors here in North Carolina that he is on the way out. I am curious your thoughts. The remaining schedule for the Pussy Pack is they are home to Georgia Tech, at Miami, Florida, home to Florida State, and home to Chapel Bill.
I'm gonna say, God, why do I think they're like gonna beat Georgia Tech?
I do too.
Yes, 6-6. That's an NC State type record.
Chad's cracking me up right now with the Valley Girl reference.
That's hilarious.
Let's take you to the Big Ten. Mike Loxley could be coaching for his job. He's currently 4-3. Remaining schedule: home to Indiana this Saturday, at Rutgers, at Illinois, home to Michigan, and at Michigan State. But that game is actually at Filthy Ford Stadium. Disgusting on all behalfs. Is Maryland bowling? They get Rutgers and Michigan State. They're in.
Yeah, they won't. They'll lose to Rutgers.
I think I agree with you. I agree with you. So you said NC State, yes, right?
Yeah, 6-6. Maryland 5-7. Brian Kelly to Maryland.
That could work.
Yeah,
that could work. That could work. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, he would be good there. He could fly under the radar.
That could work. UCF, Scott Frost, 4-3 currently. Remaining games: at Baylor, home to Houston; at Texas Tech, home to Oklahoma State; and at BYU.
Comes down to Houston. Yeah, I'll say Frost finds a way.
Wow. Okay. A little Big 12 love there. Appreciation. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights. You saw the way Greg Schiano was dancing around Ross-Ade Stadium. That's because Rutgers is currently 4-4, despite being 1-4 in conference. The remaining schedule: at the Illini, home to Maryland; at Ohio State, home to Penn State. Will Rutgers be in the Chimichanga Bowl?
Yep, that's what Schiano does. Absolutely hilarious. It's going to come down to, can he beat Penn State to get to a bowl?
Yeah, the whole Penn State roster is going to be checked out too.
Yeah, Rutgers is
because they're all going to the NFL draft. All those guys. It's going to be a hilarious scenario. Next up, let's go back to the Big 12. The Arizona Wildcats are currently 4-3. Man, they've lost a lot of close games. A 3-point loss to Houston, an overtime 6-point loss to BYU. Tough. They are at Colorado, home to Kansas, at Cincinnati, home to Baylor, and at Arizona State in the Territorial Cup.
I think they get it done. I think Arizona finds a way. They're better than their record, to your point.
Yeah, I think they do too. Florida, no Billy Napier. They are currently 3-4, Mac. 3-4. The Gators' remaining schedule is world's biggest cocktail party this Saturday against them Georgia Bulldogs. At Kentucky, at Ole Miss, home to Tennessee, and home to Florida State.
This one's a no for me. 5-7.
I think I agree. Let's stay in the SEC and talk about Brian Kelly and his family. All they need is one win, which this is kind of a layup. But I thought, you never know. Team might have quit. Team might transfer out. Team might sit out for NFL draft. They are at Bama. They are home to Arkansas. And my thing is, if they lose both of those, there is potential for them to quit and lose to Western Kentucky at home before then going to Norman and losing to Oklahoma. This is the easiest one there is. Because all they got to do is basically beat Western Kentucky and they're in.
Yeah. And I don't think they're going to quit because they didn't like Brian Kelly.
That's true. The opposite effect there. Let's stay in the SEC and talk about the Gamecocks. They're currently 3-5. Can they go 3-1 down the stretch? They're at Ole Miss.
Nope.
This is the one. If they can spring an upset here, because after that they get a bye week. They're at A&M. I expect them to lose that game. But then they're home to Coastal Carolina, which I think they will win. Then they're home to Clemson. So that Clemson game could be bowl season on the line, which makes this Ole Miss game this Saturday fucking huge. Are they bowling, Mac?
I will say no. That was a dream crusher last week. 5-7.
All right. And the final one, we are going to East Lansing, where it has been a bad season. Magic Johnson is shitting on Michigan State football.
I know. What the fuck's wrong with him?
What the hell's going on, Magic? All right.
Donate some money, prick.
Get your Dodgers in the World Series. Pay attention to that, you asshole. They're currently 3-5. They got to go 1-3 in the final. I'm sorry, 3-1.
3-1.
I can't count. At Minnesota this weekend, home to Penn State, at Iowa, and home to Maryland. So basically, if they get the Minnesota game, they could.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna get it done. I think they're gonna miss. And that Maryland game, who even knows? Like, that's a shit show of a game.
That is. I'm with you. And we agreed pretty much everything there. All right. The land down under is not done, though, because which team will have the most wins? And this is regionality. This is Pennsylvania / Bet Detective Jersey trash here. Temple, Penn State, Pitt, and Rutgers. If you look right now, Mac, Penn State is 3-4. Rutgers is 4-4. Right?
Hilarious.
Temple is 5-3. And wait, is Temple 5-3? Temple's 5-3, right? Or are they 4-3? Temple's 5-3. And Pitt is 5-2.
Pitt's 6-2.
6-2. Sorry, it's late. It's too late. Who have the best record? I don't think it's that obvious, trick or treat, because Temple's balling out right now. Temple should be a 6-win team. They got robbed against Navy.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Temple. And then probably Pitt, unfortunately. I couldn't put Pitt one.
Dundee is trapping Mac here. The answer is
no, Temple could literally win out. That schedule's nice.
They got robbed against Navy, man. Go back and watch it. Clear false start. The land down under has a few more.
Pitt's got to go to Stanford. That's an automatic loss.
I'm terrified by that game. The land down under. Let's go to the state of California. Which team will have the most wins at the end of the season, Mac? USC. It might not be as easy as you think to say this because USC is 5-2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, out there in the Mountain West Conference, Fresno State's 5-3. First off, San Diego State is 6-1.
Yeah,
and don't look, but California Golden Bears are 5-3, and they could easily be 6-2. That overtime game missed field goals before even overtime. All three and all four, I'm saying, like 5 wins and up right now. And you got to rank the order here. This is tricky.
I think it's San Diego State 1.
I think it is too.
Yeah, that defense is good. And then probably Cal, who they beat by 30.
Despite getting outgained.
Hilarious. And then probably USC. USC's got 8-4 written all over.
So Fresno last?
Yeah, I kind of think Fresno's overachieved. I think they're probably closer to 7-5.
Yeah, that's a fun one. The Battle of California. All right, welcome to the land down under. As we go to first coach fired out of these 4, Mac, and actually rank all 4 of the firings here. Dave Aranda, Baylor. Mark Stoops, Kentucky. Bill O'Brien, Boston College. Mike Loxley, Maryland.
I feel like we just keep losing a coach on this every week because they actually get fired.
And then I rotate it, and then I'm like, okay. I mean, I think those. I mean, I'm not gonna. You give your opinion first.
I think you got to handicap who actually cares. So I think Aranda might be 1.
I think it's a battle between Aranda and Stoops at 1. Because I can see them getting all tired of Stoops.
Yeah,
and I wonder if they have any Sumrall traction with him being a former player there. Like, do they try to hop on that first?
Yeah, especially with LSU and Florida getting involved. So yeah, probably Stoops too. Loxley probably will somehow survive, and then O'Brien 4. It's only year 2.
Yeah, I mean Loxley's got a new president in AD though. I think that is what.
Yeah, they should, but they're also idiots at that school.
Yeah. Next up in the land down under, most likely ACC championship game, Mac. Georgia Tech versus Pitt, Virginia versus Duke, Louisville versus SMU, Miami versus Virginia. If you look at the rankings right now, Virginia's 4-0 in conference, but Pitt 4-1 right behind them. So Georgia Tech's there at 5-0, by the way. Virginia 2, Pitt 3, Louisville is at 4 at 3-1. SMU is at 5 at 3-1. Duke is at 6 with 3-1. Miami's at 7 with 2-1. Mac, what is the most likely ACC championship out of these four and these four only?
God, I think it might be Louisville SMU.
They do play though. I think they play coming up.
They
So that
play?
means someone would have a second
Well,
loss.
Pitt and Georgia Tech play.
They do too.
Yeah.
Virginia and Duke, I don't believe they play.
Oh shit, SMU and Louisville do play.
That's what I'm saying.
It might be it might be Miami, Virginia.
And then the second one's probably Virginia Duke, right? Because I don't think they play.
Yeah, because Virginia's schedule's so soft.
Oh no, they do play. Duke and Virginia do play on November 15th.
Okay, then you throw that one out.
So it's Miami, Virginia.
Miami, Virginia, because they don't play.
We cracked the case, honey. We cracked the case.
This is hilarious.
The land down under. Best team out of these ACC teams, Mac. SMU. Like in your opinion, who do you
How
think?
many goddamn slides is Pitt on? They're on every goddamn slide.
SMU. I want your Twitter to be blowing up. All right. I want you getting anthrax in the mail and shit too. SMU, Pitt, Duke, Wake Forest. Right. Power rank these four teams as you believe the best teams in this out of these four in the ACC.
Duke won, except they'll turn it over 6 times. Wake 2. I love Wake. SMU 3, they suck. And then Pitt 4. Hey, West Virginia would be 1 on this list. We need to get in the ACC. We'd be in the playoff.
Oh, boy.
I hear there's rumors on the internets.
Land down under. Look, no Pitt. Most likely to play in the CUSA championship game, Mac. And what I did here with this new segment, the land down under, is I looked at teams in the Conference USA so right now in the CUSA, the leaders are Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State. And then I thought, well, Western Kentucky's probably the favorite because they've played 2 more games than all these teams. So I kept them out of it as well. And I went with the next tier because I feel like one of these teams is probably going to get there because the others play each other. So Louisiana Tech 1, Liberty 2, UTEP 3, Florida International 4. Those are just the 4 teams. No real order, so I don't know why I gave it order. But who do you think the most likely is to get to the championship?
Got to be Liberty, right? It's got to be Liberty, even though we hate them. Liberty won.
I have a lot of money on Liberty, and it's dicey.
These other 3, I mean, FIU at least is well coached, so I'll put 2, and then La Tech is just a fraud. 3, and UTEP's is bad, so 4.
See, we're making the CUSA fun over here, TV networks. All right. All right. Welcome to the land down under. Where most likely Big 12 championship game, Mac. BYU, Houston, TCU, Texas Tech, Cincinnati, Kansas State, or a rematch of the Holy War. The Holy War in a dome in Arlington makes me want to vomit. Like when I think about it, when I really think about it, as much as I love the Holy War, it's something criminal. Something absolutely criminal that could happen in Arlington, Texas.
I think it's BYU Houston.
Because they don't play, right?
They don't
play each other.
They don't play.
So, that's a fascinating one. And dive into the schedules on that, but we're not going to right now because we're in the land down under. Rank these teams in order, Mac. Texas, Virginia, Nebraska, Arizona State. Who is the best team that what is the best team there? Start there and work your way backwards.
All the frauds are on this list. Virginia won.
I think Arizona State's won for me.
They have 3 losses, though.
I know, but they didn't have their starting quarterback.
True. Yeah, I'll go Arizona State 1. You're right.
I just think they're tougher than the other teams, but
yeah,
not by much. I think Virginia would be my number 2.
2, and then probably Texas and Nebraska.
Yeah, ASU 1. A lot of people agreeing with ASU 1. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tyson didn't play last week, to go Bee's point.
Yeah, Jordan Tyson. Next up, we have the land down under. The Week 10 upset that is most likely, Mac. South Carolina goes into Oxford, Mississippi, and beats Ole Miss. Georgia Tech loses to NC State in Raleigh. Notre Dame goes, we've seen this one in historic times before, goes into Chestnut Hill and loses to Boston College, or Penn State knocks off Ohio State with their backup quarterback.
Definitely NC State won. I mean, that line's below a field or below a touchdown. And historically, NC State has knocked off teams at home. Then probably South Carolina, letdown spot for Ole Miss coming off the Oklahoma game. How funny would it be if Penn State beat Ohio State this year?
The first time without Franklin, it would be fucking hilarious.
They
don't even have Aller. That's got to be the funniest fucking game of the week. Like, imagine if Penn State goes there without Aller, without Franklin, and imagine they win by like double digits. What if they win like 20-7?
Have they played since hilarious. Franklin?
Yeah, they did. They lost by 1 at Iowa.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, and then they had a bot. They actually have looked pretty good since Franklin's gone. Yeah, that's probably 3, and then BC 4. I just can't see it with BC. They're so bad. They're so bad.
All right, welcome to the land down under. Where? How about let's go to the group of 5? Which Week 10 upset is most likely? UAB and Mort Report's son going in to what the fuck's the name of the stadium? The Wrench to get twisted and upsetting UConn. Memphis on a Friday night dropping a game to Rice. Fresno going to the Smurf turf, where I think they're calling for weather too. And Delaware heading to the Flaming Libs and knocking off the Flaming Libs.
Rice is won because Memphis is off that crazy win over USF. Then probably Delaware.
I think you're right, dude.
And Liberty.
As much as I have so much money on Liberty, I'm like, gosh.
Yeah, they're painful. Then I'll go UAB, then Fresno. Fresno ain't winning on the Smurf turf.
I think you're right. I think you got that one. I think you nailed that one. The only thing you could argue, I think you could argue that Delaware upsetting Liberty might be more likely than Rice Memphis.
Could be.
Yeah.
It would be so Silverfield to lose that game.
It would be. It would be. Welcome to the land down under. Where? The Week 10 game you want to see most out of these 4: Cincinnati at Utah, Miami at SMU, a little battle of the private schools. Oklahoma at Tennessee, battle of Josh Heupel. Remember, he got done dirty by the Sooners. And USC at Nebraska, like it was the 70s again. Rank those two on the ones you want to see most.
So all of these are expansion games.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Probably USC Nebraska won. The history of that rivalry, or just historical teams, and that's a big game for the playoff.
Yeah.
Then probably Oklahoma Tennessee because of Heupel.
That's kind of a big game for the playoffs too.
Yeah, that's a huge game. Both teams have 2 losses. Venables versus Heupel. There's some friction there, I think, too. So actually, Oklahoma Tennessee is going to be 1 for me because of the Heupel.
I think that's probably dynamic. I think I agree.
And then USC Nebraska. Then probably Miami SMU.
I kind of love the Miami SMU thing. I thought the ACC should have made that a rivalry game thing instead of
corruption
Cal every year.
Yeah,
I think they should have ended the ACC games because Miami Florida State play it's not the rivalry week because Florida State gets Florida. I thought they should have done Miami SMU to end because it's just both like private school with fuck you money. They go on, they're mirror images of each other.
Yeah,
like historically. So,
and both teams got to have the game, and then probably Cincinnati, Utah.
All right, welcome to the land down under for the final time. The Week 10 Group of 5 game you want to see most. Air Force hosting Army. Tulane going to that filthy Alamo Dome. New Mexico heading to that filthy Allegiant Stadium. or a regional Maction rivalry game, Central Michigan at Western Michigan.
It's a big game.
It is a big game. I believe CMU controls their own fate, and I believe if Western gets them, and I think one other team loses, they control their own fate. So,
Cannabis Capper, Miami SMU, convicts versus convicts.
yeah, fire name.
Well, one is easy on this. Army Air Force is going to be one always. Academy versus Academy. Tulane UTSA. That game has some playoff juice.
Dude, I feel like Tulane has gotten very lucky that they played ECU and Army in New Orleans. Because if those were either on the road, I feel like with the team that trotted out there, they would have lost those games. Them going to UTSA is dangerous, right?
Yes. And then the Michigan's probably 3, just because it's a wacky Mac. And then, although I like the New Mexico UNLV game, can Eck ruin the phonies season?
Yeah, that game's intriguing. The only problem is it's such an emotional game the week before.
Yeah.
I feel like Mullen is in the better spot. All right, that is our show. That is the land on it. We completed this thing. Let's get some sleep. Give Moneyline Mac a follow on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. The College Football Experience on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. YouTube.com/The College Experience, folks. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Hit that like and subscribe button.
I hear there's rumors on the internets.
There are rumors that we're kicking ass and college basketball is coming. Also, check out the College Basketball Experience. Till next time, folks, which is tomorrow. I don't even want to think about recording right now, but tomorrow we'll cover all the other weekday games. All right. We appreciate everybody in the chat. We just rocked for what, like 10 hours? I don't even know what we're doing. All right.
9 hours.
Appreciate everyone in the chat. Let's kick ass at life. Have fun. All right. Well, I'll be dead in 50 years. Try drugs you've never heard of. Have a good time. Pet fucking wild animals. All that good shit that I recommend there. I think they're all sticky notes. Actually, if you dial Patty C's number, he'll tell you all those things. Till next time, this is the College Football Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.